Hi, Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag FISHFAM Mom. Well, it's story time, and I thought you might like to know where all of this started. So, come along with me. The story is about to begin. A long, long time ago, there was this little girl who just loved the water. She loved nature. She loved every creature there was. She loved dogs and cats and birds and lizards, and she would sometimes climb trees and listen to nature. Sometimes she'd spread a blanket out on the grass and look up at the sky, fold her arms behind her head and look at the clouds moving across the sky over her and see different pictures and creatures and images in those clouds. And she would daydream and listen to nature. And then there was days when she would wander off into the woods by herself, and her mother was very frightened for her safety, so she made her to start carrying a walkie-talkie, which most of the time this little girl turned that walkie-talkie off because it made a frying noise. It's not like the equipment today that's silent. And then she would get in trouble for not having her walkie-talkie on, because she'd get caught up in nature. She'd get caught up on the trails that animals would make, or she'd make her own trail, and she would walk along the creeks and play with the rocks and watch how the water formed the shapes on the rocks and the shallow places and the deep places. And there was a few times she got into trouble and was a little afraid. She got into a swampy area one time, not knowing that the water had swelled out into the bank and softened the soil and caused it to become very silty, and she almost sank. But she was able to pull herself to safety. And she knew she'd get in trouble with those muddy shoes and muddy socks, and she snuck into the back and pulled her socks and shoes off and washed herself up really good. And then her mother found her muddy socks and shoes, and then she was grounded for a while. She got in trouble, but it didn't stop her from being adventurous. As she grew through the years, she began to keep fish in an aquarium. She had guppies and mollies and coolie loaches, and she really enjoyed the aquariums. But as time went by, she got involved with her high school activities, and the fish keeping hobby took a back seat. Again, as that young lady grew up, that older woman decided she wanted to reach back into her childhood memories and begin to keep fish again. Guppies, of course. That was the beginning point. And from then on, we've had ghost shrimp, corridors, neon tetras. We have gouramis and common plecos and mystery snails and paradise fish and angelfish and cherry shrimp and ram's horn snails and bladder snails. And she's migrated from the plastic plant to the planted aquariums. Every aquarium has live plants in it. She's enjoying learning the different kinds of plants, which is kind of difficult sometimes because we can't pronounce the scientific name. And there's so many different common names that sometimes one person's calling this duckweed and then another person's calling this duckweed, but they don't look the same. But that's where I am today with multi-tank addiction. 13 tanks and 2 ponds on the porch holding goldfish, guppies, and all kinds of other fish. I still have my corridors, and I'm rearing up 5 baby angelfish right now. So that's where it all began. If you liked what you heard, you liked my voice, you liked the story, you like to follow my life, you like to follow my channel, in my hobby as my hobby grows, and it shrinks and it grows and it changes and it comes back and it changes again. That's what life is all about. Adventure, creativity, imagination. You learn a little skill along the way and just have fun.